Enjoy the moment, as that moment will never stay. You know, time's always passing, right? And the thing I struggle with a lot is being in the moment. Touched about this a little bit, my lack of, I guess, like awareness sometimes, and it's okay, I get like that, dissociate to protect myself, and well, really, I dissociate really because that's just what I've been doing, When you get used to something, things don't really change like that, but I always want to be here. And that's a strange thing for me to say now, as that wasn't always the truth, I wasn't always aware of how I felt all the time. Obviously, we live and we learn, but it really is true that we have to live to learn. You have to be aware of the situation to grow from it, and in order to grow, you gotta be willing to make the few mistakes that you are making. And it'd be weird trying to allow yourself to make mistakes and trying to allow yourself to, I guess, fail. I never liked failing. I always believed I was a smart kid, and because of that sense of self I gave myself, I believe I couldn't fail. Failure was not an option in my mind. I'm not gonna lie, for a long time it wasn't. I was just doing my thing, just, if I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it right. And if I didn't do it right, let me in. If I didn't do it right, then I guess we're not gonna think about that, almost. I just be like that, maybe my family, maybe it was their expectation about me, but sure, it could have been them. That might be an easy blame, but really it was me, holding myself to the standard of what I thought other people believed in me. And I guess that's for a long time, I always wanted to live up to what I thought people thought of me, It's like a fake idea of myself. And that was not good, bro. I'm telling you right now. Living for other people, while yes, you might see as like what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost like a duty, like a rightful duty to live for the people around you and like protect them. But there's a difference between living for them and living for them. Stand out there with like your chest up high, saying, you know what, these are my people, and I respect them, and I take care of them. But who's taking care of you? Because I see this in a lot of I guess mainly like maybe my family, and just like maybe it's just like the old way, the traditional way, the traditional family life is like the man has to do like so much, right? That often goes underappreciated. And this is just from a male perspective. We could touch on how much the mother has to basically raise an entire family by herself. But while she's raising the family by herself, the father, he's working. He's providing. So it's just like what they basically force them in two directions. One's nurturing, one's providing. And while that was working for a long time, I believe that it's not sustainable, bro. Like, because of that underappreciation, right? Because of not living in that moment. That father not living in the moment, taking care of his children, he's interacting with them, just living with them, not even just like having to do what a mother does and raise them, but just interact with them in a day by day. Don't build that wall because you feel like, okay, I can only focus on my work. Which I think it's because it's probably the workload is just too much. They think, and it's probably true, that can't can't work 50 plus hours and then just go home and just be happy about like something I guess random your kid's doing. Cause it's like children have a whimsical view of life that like is so underappreciated and needs to be protected. Like that. Then I don't know, that positivity is just something that we rip away so quickly from like the generations that come, you know. Happened to me, happened to my friends, it's happening to the next generation. And it's gonna just probably keep going, you know, that cycle of pain. But let's just get back on topic real quick. I believe that by living in the moment all the time, as a father, as a person, you know, let's keep the father example for now. I think it's the outcomes come out better. I think you raise better children, you maintain a closer relationship, and generally, I feel like it's just a better action. What's weekend? Oh. And that's why I believe, you know, obviously, that's why I believe the mother should have, you know, some working responsibility. I believe the duty should be shared between both parents. I think that both parents should probably work and raise the kids at the same time, or, you know, maintain like some type of balance where they can do both things at once, you know, give each other off days, but give each other, you know, days to work and days to be with the kids, days to, you know, just do the things you have to do in life, which are guaranteed. And then I don't think it's like a crazy thing to say. Where are they? Where's bro? Got him. Got him. You know, I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. You know, it should be more trust, more belief in each other, more belief in the children. You know, more belief in just everybody. There's a lack of trust between a lot of people. I don't know, man. It's just weird most of the time, you know. Because, you know, we're always alive, we're always, you know, living in this world. And we'll continue being here till the day we die, the day we pass. So it's just like, it baffles me that people are so stuck for very long periods of time. Because I'm not saying that being stuck is like bad. I'm saying it's staying stuck is the bad part. Like choosing to not change, choosing to ignore the problems you have or the differences you can make, instead for selfish desires. I don't know. It could be a bunch of many things in this life. It could be. But my issue is being here, being present, and being aware all the time, you know. I always feel like I always have to get notified about something in order to act on something, you know, that's not directly with me, you know. If it's news about something with my parents, you know, sometimes they don't tell me directly, sometimes I find out from a sibling, and it's like, you know, it's not nice. I want to hear it, and well, that's roughly on my fault for it's never really always like being there, you know, always choosing when to show up. And I don't know, it's just a long time I just didn't want to show up, so it's like now that I do, now that I can see like where my life would have gone if I just continued not to show up, it changed me. You know, it made me realize that, you know, I value my relationship with my parents or my family, and you know, it's not all about being petty. You know, I learned that from my mom. Shout out, mom. I love you, mom. But yeah, you're the most petty person I know, and you would tell me this yourself. I make the same face as her whenever, you know, I'm like, she has this like blank smile or like just like stare. Cause I'd be doing it too, not gonna lie. I'd be petty when I'd be being petty for real. Like I'd be like, I don't know. I feel like it's like knowing the answer and being like, oh, so that's what you think. Oh, that's what you think the answer is, huh? But that's really I'm yapping. I'm always yapping. That's what y'all listen to, huh? I don't know. I feel like I haven't done this style in a minute. You know, I've been focusing more on like been doing some gaming stuff, but while that is fun and while I am enjoying that, it's not necessarily, you know, my main. You know, I don't want that to be just me, you know, like just the guy that plays games, just the guy who plays Five Nights at Freddy's, Star Wars, or just the guy that yaps. I just want to be me. I want to be I want to be the guy that is doing a bunch of stuff and is always changing it. You know, I said I was gonna change. I'm gonna change my content a lot more. I'm keep working, you know. I think just like doing different stuff, right? I guess with the style of content, you know, I'm mixing with the yapping and the commentary. I actually play. I notice that whenever I play and I yap, I play a lot worse. But I enjoy what I'm saying. And then, whilst, you know, if I'm playing a game, not really yapping, sure I might be doing okay at the game, but you know, the yapping is what I live for. So that doesn't mean I'm just gonna like stop doing that type of content. I do enjoy it, and you know, it makes me more experimental with my editing. You know, I can do a little different more. And I was experimenting with the thumbnail in the last video. Hopefully I upload this video on the same day. This is uploaded on the same day. Hello guys, what's up? How you doing? Hope you like the double upload. I know I like pulling out random double uploads out of my butt every once in a while, but you know, we live for those. We live for those double uploads. This has helped me a lot. Like I always mention, you guys, even if it's just a couple of my friends watching, and then some few random people who saw me through the rematch video or just do whatever, just clicked on my shorts and decided to watch this one video randomly. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you're doing. You know, you have so much worth, and you do so much for other people that you don't realize, and sometimes you need to hear it, even when you don't believe it. You know, I don't believe it most of the time. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever my girlfriend tells me that, you know, I'm working hard and I'm doing the things I want to do. You know, shout out Ed, shout out Ed from the gas station. You know, he's telling me that, you know, me just uploading this and, you know, me just like thinking about what I want to do is me on the path and me doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is the speed I need to go at. And, you know, when I feel comfortable, it's going to speed up. And it'll slow down sometimes, you know, it's not going to always go crazy. You know, I'm not always going to be uploading all at the same time, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be uploading. I want to upload a lot more, and I'm thinking about it a lot more, and, you know, things are going to change. Remember this. I'm going to tell you this from now until I stop doing this. You know, I'm going to change. Don't get used to the style of content forever. I hope to just constantly improve. Constantly, you know, I guess just constantly do what I feel is right. And you might not like it. You might not necessarily agree with maybe what I'm doing. And you might be like, I wish you went back to X. I wish you went back to Y. I'm telling you this right now. I am not gonna just be known as the whatever guy. I don't want to be known as anything besides just me. So if I catch steam on something, I'm gonna ride that wave until I feel like, you know, it's time to, you know, to move on, to experience new things, to give you guys what I promised, I guess. This is the promise I'm making right now, that I'm not just gonna stay the same. And yeah, you know, I'm gonna live in the moment. I'm gonna make rash, spontaneous decisions. Shout out my boy Sway, bro. Encourages me to do them spontaneous decisions, and while I don't agree with all of his, he shows me that it's not really about a decision, you know, or like what you think's gonna happen. It's more about just like saying fuck it, let's go, and then just whatever comes, you just take it. A lot of times I see it's probably just more good than bad. I really like lack with that. I like that. It's like almost like I have that paranoia about the things I'm doing, I guess. If that's like the right word to say. I don't know. Ooh. Why? Oh my god, bro. For my next video, what am I thinking about doing? I'm thinking about doing a Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Another Yap video, definitely. Maybe another Dia Noche video. Another Yap, just... I feel like I don't know. I feel like I might start experimenting with like scripting my videos a little bit. Maybe, especially with like, maybe the podcast type Yap style video. Might try to get like, maybe not like scripted, but just like a little structure of like how I want the conversation to flow. I don't know. I like watching podcasts a lot. Shout out Dope as Yola podcast, or Dope as Usual, the Gobcast, Creepcast. Shout out all them, Zerky Show. I'm just gonna use this end part to talk about, you know, what I like, what I've been enjoying recently. A little end segment about like things I've been liking, you know, while this game is ending. I'm really enjoying right now Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi is amazing. I still can't choose between Man on the Moon 1 or 2. Man on the Moon 3 is pretty good. Just the other two, I think clear. It's too obvious in my mind. But I'm really liking, what songs am I really liking? Erase Me Main with Kanye. Tequila Shots on Man on the Moon 3 is really good. Soundtrack of my life. What am I thinking? Is it called Man on the Moon? Yeah, Man on the Moon. What am I thinking, bro? Ashton Kutcher. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's just a bunch of random. And also Tame Impala. I've been listening a lot more of The Slow Rush. I'm getting a huge appreciation for it now. You know, I really enjoyed Currents. Obviously, Currents was the big favorite from everybody. My personal favorite, I think, is probably Inner Speaker. Probably because it's like the one I relate to the most right now on my journey of like discovery. You know, a couple songs to check out. Inner Speaker, Lucidity's the one that really changed. It really changed like my thoughts on life, on like when I become aware, and like how it's like fleeting moments of my, you know, awareness. And then another song off that album that I really like is It Is Not Meant to Be, the first song off the track, the first track off the album. Pretty good. But you know, Lonerism's also pretty good. I really enjoyed Lonerism, but The Slow Rush I've been really listening to. I like watching, you know, I think album reactions. Yeah, album reactions on YouTube. Shout out I think it's Turning the Tables. It's like a guy and his dad just reacting to music, and their reactions of like Tame Impala, of Kid Cudi really like made me enjoy like the music a lot more, and like helped me see like different things that I didn't really see. You know, I really like the way they analyze music is like, you know, I guess like almost like similar to me, just almost listening to like the beat. They're very like background heavy, like but they also like the lyrics, and I'm not really a lyrics focused guy, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy and I don't like to read, but I really want to check out more of those like type of genres, you know, artists, and I think that's where I'll probably end it for right now. I keep trying to, oh, just now, keep trying to like add on to the video, you know, add a little more, but just like Ninja, bro, I gotta stop dragging the low taper fade, bro. Stop dragging the video. I'm just gonna end it here, y'all. I hope you've been enjoying the videos. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you guys for even just checking out my content, even just being here or liking a video. It really means a lot. And I hope to see you guys again. So whatever you're doing, hope you have a good morning, a good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever. I don't care anymore. I don't care, but I do hope you're having a good one, and I hope you stay safe. Shout out to my barber, yo. I haven't even had a haircut, but shout out to my barber, yo. Alright, peace out.